Hey, what is up guys, I'm Review, and today I'm going to be talking about what if the Denver Nuggets never traded Donovan Mitchell. What I mean by never after they drafted him, traded him, because a lot of people don't know this, but the Denver Nuggets were actually the original team to draft Donovan Mitchell, but then they then traded them to the Utah Jazz. And I'm going to be getting into what they traded him for, why they traded him, summing up what happened, and what would have happened if they would have never traded him. So without further ado, without my rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so first things first, let's get into what happened and what they actually traded him for. So the Nuggets did draft Donovan Mitchell with the 13th overall pick in the NBA draft, but then they did trade him to the Utah Jazz for Trey Lyles and the 24th overall pick, which obviously did not end up being very much at all. And to sum it up, so they basically traded a potential Rookie of the Year and potential All-Star, maybe even Superstar one day in this league, who was averaging 19.6 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, and 1.5 steals per game, for a backup power forward who averages 11.0 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, and 1.2 assists per game, and Tyler Lydon, who has played one game and has 0 stats. He has played one game, he's not injured, he plays one game and hasn't had a single stat. They literally traded him for a backup power forward and a useless player taking up salary cap and a roster spot. They traded that for this. I'm not even a Denver fan and I'm getting salty for them. I mean, come on, that must suck. But now, let's get into what would have happened, the actual point of the video. What if they would have never traded them? So right now, the Denver Nuggets are the 7th seed in the West, and they're kind of tied for 8th and 6th. The Pelicans, the Denver Nuggets, and I think the Trailblazers all pretty much have the same record. So I mean, one loss could move them down to 8th, 9th, anything. So it's really, really close. At this 6th through 9th seed, it's really close. But right now they are ranked 7th in the West, and they have the 10th overall ranked offense and the 17th ranked defense. And right now their starting shooting guard is Gary Harris, who's pretty solid. He's averaging 17.3 points per game, 3.1 assists per game, 2.1 rebounds per game, and also 1.8 steals per game. So he's doing fairly well. He's playing pretty good. But he won't really be that game changer, that it factor that will really help you win games and make a deep playoff run like Donovan Mitchell is. I mean, plus they would be getting that combo of Nikola Jokic. The dude had a triple-double in the first half tonight. I think he ended with 30-something points, 15 rebounds, and 15 assists. He was really close to having a 20-20-20 game, which is almost unheard of. That is crazy if you could have 20-20. I think the last person to do it was Wilt Chamberlain. So could you imagine Nikola Jokic with Donovan Mitchell? That would be an amazing 1-2 combo. Plus, now the court would be way more spread out, and also it would add them some nice depth at shooting guard, which would be a huge help. That would actually be a ton of help to give them depth on shooting guard. Having Gary Harris off the bench would be that would be really good. I mean, could you imagine you go from Donovan Mitchell to Gary Harris? Gary Harris is a very solid shooting guard in this league, so if you can go from him and him, that's really almost very little slack being left off at the shooting guard position. But then also that would help him a ton on defense, because right now Donovan Mitchell has been playing really well on defense. He's averaging 1.5 steals per game. He hustles, he runs, he's obviously really athletic, he's in the dunk competition. The dude's a beast, and he can help you win games. So Gary Harris just doesn't have that it, but Donovan Mitchell, this dude is, I think he's going to be a superstar one day in the NBA. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just having a fluke Rookie of the Year, but I don't think that. I mean, this dude's just he can shoot, he can drive, he can obviously dunk, he can play some defense. He's really good. And I think if you combine that with Jokic, he would have been a beastly team. They'd probably be a top 10 defensive team also, which would probably boost them to the 5th or 4th or maybe even 3rd seed in the West right now, which would be extremely hard because San Antonio obviously without Kawhi and LaMarcus Aldridge, that 3rd through 8th seeds, that's all open. You never know who could take that up. But then also this would help them with that lackluster bench that they have right now. If you add Gary Harris to the bench that they have, that would be huge, because right now their bench is extremely old. They have 2 32-year-olds and a 28-year-old on that bench. So if you're able to add a 23-year-old Gary Harris to that bench, who's very solid and could at least try to help lead that bench a little bit more and add more athleticism and kind of give Nikola Jokic more rest, and then even Donovan Mitchell more rest, that would be huge. And I mean, that another thing, you're kind of seeing in LeBron playing so many minutes. I mean, he was kind of struggling, but now that he has younger help, he's able to rest more, and he's been playing out of his mind lately. So maybe same thing with Jokic if you gave him more rest. Because right now I think Jokic is averaging 38 minutes, 40 minutes a game. He's playing almost the entire game. So if you could give Jokic some like rest with their bench being better and Donovan Mitchell in the game, then that could be extremely helpful. And maybe Jokic could even play better than he already is, and he's already established himself as one of the best players in the NBA. I mean, to get a triple-double in the first half tonight was huge. They ended up beating Minnesota 2 very handily, like by 17, 13 points, so I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But yeah, like, they would be getting much younger, and I mean, because like right now, outside of that core of Gary Harris and Jokic, they're very, very old. It's crazy. They have Richard Jefferson, 32. He's been playing awful. They have another 32. They have a lot of old people, like a lot of 30-year-olds, and that's just not going to be able to make a deep playoff run, because the older you are, the less athletic you are, and eventually you need that athleticism and young legs in the playoffs to be any good. And the veterans that they have aren't going to be able to like help them win games off the bench or anything. So I really think if they would have never traded Donovan Mitchell, I would say they were probably a second or third round team in the West, and you never know. I mean, at that point, Jokic, they let Donovan Mitchell and Jokic develop. No telling how good that team could have been. I really wish I could have seen it, but too bad. Now we get to see Rudy Gobert in the Jazz with Donovan Mitchell and see how that works out. Right now, they are making a little bit of a playoff run. I think they won 11 straight now, so I mean, that's always good. So I mean, just think, 11 straight as the Jazz. I think it's safe to say that the Nuggets are a better team than the Jazz, especially without Gordon Hayward. So just think, if they can win 11 straight at the Jazz, who has a lot worse team than the Nuggets, just think what they could have done on the Nuggets. Like, why did y'all have to trade them? I'm not even a Nuggets fan or a Jazz fan. Like, why did y'all have to trade them? That would have been so awesome. I mean, that would have been great. But unfortunately, guys, it's going to be it for this video. So comment down below. Do you think that the Nuggets could have made a deep playoff run? Do you think this could have been a dynasty in the making with this? Do you think that would be one of the best two duos in the league? Comment all that below. And if you are a Jazz fan or a Nuggets fan, tell me how excited you are or how mad you are that happened. Or did y'all even know that any of that happened? Comment all that below. And if you did like the video at any point, hit the like button. It would mean the world to me. And also, if you really like the video, hit the subscribe button. That would literally, that would just mean the world to me. I'd be so thankful, and I'm already blessed to be here. Thank y'all so much. 143 subscribers. Let's try to make it to 144. I still love y'all anyway. If you don't subscribe, kids, something, but you either never do vegetables, always eat drugs. Stay safe, eat well, goodbye.